All right, let's go ahead and try this again. Thanks to those joining me live and to those that'll be joining me on archive. DStyle here. Make sure you throw a jab at that like button. Throw a 1-2 at that share button. Share my video and hit that notification button. That way you are notified every time DStyle comes on live. Even when Hangouts goes out on you, you can be re-notified when DStyle comes on live. Okay, anyway. All right? Anyway. Let me see. I'm testing the audio here, so bear with me. All right. I think we're good. All right. We got a couple of fights to talk about here, guys. All right. But it's going to be heavyweight boxing talk. All right. I got to keep it 100. Any unrelated, you guys can talk about whatever you want in the chat, but any unrelated topics, I'm not going to even read them. All right. Let's got to keep it real. All right. Like if your comment starts with, I know this is not a topic, but I mean, I'm just not, you know what I mean? There's other ways. There's DStyleBoxing at gmail.com. There's other ways to ask me questions. If you want, you can leave them in the regular comments, but just let you guys know, you know, especially for those that listen to shows on archive, I want to make sure that it is on topic, right? So just let you guys know, right? With that said, we're going to talk heavyweight boxing right here, right? And, you know, obviously, big fight was announced yesterday. And that fight is Wilder versus Ortiz. There's also the upcoming fight, right, with Anthony Joshua versus Andy Ruiz, right? And then, of course, according to Eddie Hearn, the Dillian Whyte Tyson Fury fight. So we're talking about potentially three. I mean, we don't know. I just don't see why. I do believe that Whyte Fury fight's gonna happen. So, you know, who knows? Maybe it won't, but we'll talk about it either way, right? We have some interesting fights coming in, and let me tell you something, folks. I think right now the heavyweight division is everything we wanted for years, right? I mean, there was a time here on YouTube, the only person talking heavyweight boxing was Mr. Boxing Today, okay? Everybody else just popped up when there was a Klitschko fight, right? Like, or a post-fight complaining about how boring the fight was and shit like that. That's about it, right? The guy covering that I saw, you know, prospects and contenders was Mr. Boxing Today. Maybe that's an exaggeration, but that's the guy I know it. So anyway, Mr. Boxing Today 2, shout out to him. All right. Shout out to him. All right. Check it out. This is what we want, folks. The scenery right now is what we've been wanting since I've been on YouTube. We want exciting fights. We want competitive fights. We want multiple guys, and we finally have it here. You know, we have, you know, some, you know, top quality fighters. We have three of them in specific that if they were to fight each other, man, this division will turn on fire. And this is the darling division. Make no mistake about it, right? Really quick, for those that don't know, why is heavyweight the darling division? Right now, that's an obvious oxymoron. Okay, but what makes heavyweight special? What makes the heavyweight division the division in boxing? That's not my favorite division. That's welterweight, right? But what makes heavyweight unique to all the other divisions? There's one thing, right? That if you are the heavyweight champion of the world, you are the best fighter in the world. Period. No pound for pound, no imaginary, let's pretend everybody was the same size. Nothing like that. You are the best. Like if there was no weight classes in boxing, the heavyweight champion would be the champion either way. You eliminate all the weight classes. It's not going to happen. I'm not advocating for that to happen. But hypothetically, right, that's who the champion would be. The heavyweight champion of the world, right, is the best fighter in boxing. By king of the jungle rules, not pound for pound, none of that. So that's why when someone's on the mountaintop of the heavyweight division, you are looking at the best. Okay, I'm not talking about skills. I'm just talking about get everybody at their most comfortable weight. The heavyweight champion always comes out on top. And that's it. As simple as that. There's no discussion to be held about that. Heavyweight is what you see in all the other sports. It's just that boxing is, divided in weight classes. There's no weight class for linemen in the NFL, guys. You just get the best linemen, period. All right? It's as simple as that. But with that said, let's go ahead and talk some heavyweight boxing here. First, let's talk about the announced fight, right? The first, Ruiz Ortiz versus Deontay Wilder. I like the fight. And I like the fight. You know why I like the fight? Because I'm a boxing fan. And I know it's going to be a good fight, right? Obviously, I want to see Wilder versus AJ. I obviously want to see that, right? That's numero uno. But you can't go wrong with Ruiz Ortiz, Wilder again. There is some danger there, but that's why this is what heavyweight champions should do. They should fight dangerous fights. Now, I'm pretty confident Wilder's going to win, though. There's no question in my mind that Deontay Wilder's going to win this fight. Right? I think he stops Ruiz Ortiz in the middle rounds. Right? I think he does. I think the fight will be exciting while it lasts. Ortiz is a little slick in there. He's going to win some rounds for sure. No doubt. He might even be ahead when the fight is stopped. But make no mistake about it. None. Wilder will stop Ortiz. He will set up that right hand, and he will hurt him. Right? And we know he could hurt him. That we know. They could argue Ruiz Ortiz as well. That's what makes the fight great. That's what makes this fight exciting. That's why I want to see this fight. And if Ruiz Ortiz wins, they can do it again. It's called a trilogy. Right? Look, let me tell you guys something. DStyle has no, I'm all about the way of the wind, man. Whatever happens, happens. I'm not invested in any fighters. I'm just not. All right? Nothing wrong if you are, but I'm not. It's not the end of the world for me if Ruiz Ortiz gets a knockout over Deontay Wilder. It's not the end of the world for me. They can do it again. It wouldn't be the end of the world. But I do believe Wilder will win. Right? He will. Wilder's got a decent jab. He's got a height advantage, reach advantage, or height advantage for sure. And Ruiz Ortiz has to punch up at Wilder, right? Which is what I'm trying to get at. He exerts more energy. He has to work more at it. Wilder has a very underrated hook. I think it's going to be landing on Luis Ortiz, especially from mid-range, which where Ortiz has to be in order to land anything on Wilder. Can't box him from the outside. Luis Ortiz ain't no ambush dude, right? It's going to have to be a mid-range, and that hook, I do believe in this fight, it's going to play a role. And he's so good at setting up that hook with a right hand. And there is something scientific about that, right? There is something, okay, but that's something right out of a laboratory, folks. That's not some wild shit. That's not some just throwing a right hand, hoping it lands. Because at this level of boxing, you don't just throw and hope and pray it lands. Those right hands of Wilder, they're set up. And what you guys are calling windmill punches is just one angle in which you could throw it. You could throw it straight. You saw it in the last fight. Luis Ortiz, whether he knows it or not, the chandelier's already been cracked. It's already been cracked. When Wilder lands at a right hand again, I don't think the punch resistance is going to be there anymore. And that's why I think it's going to stop him again. But this time, you know, I think he's still going to be in the canvas when the ref says 10. If he has to say 10 at all. No boxing dialogue. I don't think the first fight was controversial. It was exciting. Ortiz had a big moment. But it's clear Wilder won. Boxing Conversation with Reggie Owens says, salute. What's going on, bro? Thank you guys for tuning in. I think Wilder's going to win this fight, and I think the hook. See, Wilder now has tape on Ortiz. Now, granted, it works both ways. I just don't know what Ortiz could do differently. I just don't. I'm being 100% honest. 100%. Ortiz he's gonna do what he's been doing since his Cuban days, man. Of course, he's well schooled, great Cuban boxer. He ain't gonna learn new tricks. It isn't gonna happen. Now, Wilder isn't gonna learn new tricks either, but he can adapt what he already has and utilize it in the fight. The hook will be a big factor in this fight. And he'll be using it from mid-range. Might even hurt Ortiz with the hook. Ortiz has to be mid-range to land. So those are my thoughts on that fight. We'll give more thoughts the closer we get to the fight. That's for the WBC Heavyweight Championship of the World. I got Deontay Wilder winning that fight by mid-range stoppage. Now, let me take a moment and give a shout-out to the coach, because the coach is he can't believe the fight's happening. And he believes it's just too dangerous of a fight for Wilder to take again. Is there a danger? Of course there is. Can Luis Ortiz win this fight? I give him about a 20% chance at winning this fight, which is pretty good. All right, but I ain't going to bet on it. It ain't going to happen, folks. Wilder will win. All right? Now, nothing is written in boxing, as in destiny isn't just written. It can already be written, but it feels like it is. All right? With that said, it's going to be all right. Wilder's going to win the fight. All right? You could bank on that. You can bank on that. Deontay Wilder wins. AJ versus Ruiz. This fight's coming up, guys. Yes. AJ versus Andy Ruiz. I've been watching Andy Ruiz for a while. All right. Now he's lost a lot of weight, and and for some reason people like praise him for that. The dude's been a professional boxer for his whole adult life, and he's getting praised for losing weight. That's where we are today. Like that's insane. Andy Ruiz stands no shot, folks. He stands no shot. And don't listen to all those gambling channels that tell you bad, and don't listen to them. Do not listen to anybody who tells you, oh, the odds for Ruiz are good. Don't listen to them. You're just going to lose your money. Right? You guys like to flush money down the toilet or what? Is that something you like to do? You just give money away. Give it to me. Dirty. Right? Take a date out on a date or something. Don't just throw the money away betting on Ruiz. Oh, but the odds, DStyle. Look at the odds. I don't give a shit about the odds. The odds. I don't care what the odds say. He ain't going to win. No shot. Zero. Right? I don't think he can outbox Joshua on the outside. He can't outbox Joshua at mid-range, folks. He's dead at those distances. What does he have to do? What does Andy Ruiz need to do? He needs to get on the inside. Right? He needs to get on the inside. Somebody call him the new Areola. You could say that again. He gets in. First of all, from the outside, he's going to have to deal with AJ's, really good jab. He's going to have to deal with a really good jab of AJ on the outside. Okay, so he's going to be getting hit with jabs like all night. He's going to have to try and slip those jabs. That's going to take away a lot of energy. It's going to be exerted. He's trying to slip those jabs and getting hit by the jabs and feeling that strain on the back of the neck. And it's going to exert a lot of energy from Ruiz. They're losing all that weight, give him a lot of stamina, I hope. He's going to have to slip it and duck low. And when he's in mid-range, he's going to have to be careful with the uppercut. A more dangerous punch. Probably AJ's best punch. And Ruiz is that perfect height. He's going to be in that perfect line. As he even when he successfully slips those jabs, bam, uppercut. It's going to come. You watch. And when you watch that, when you watch Ruiz slipping through some jabs, finally getting from the outside to mid-range, you watch for those uppercuts. You watch for them. Then, of course, right, even if he stuffs some uppercuts or gets on the inside, AJ can step away, bam, hook. Or he can hold him, wait for the ref to break it up, and then we start all over again. AJ doesn't hold that much. I do see him a lot. That's one of his big problems. But that it is an option. But he can also step back. AJ has a really good lead uppercut. All right? Really good. And he's got a good uppercut off the backhand. Okay, with the backhand uppercut, if he could just take a step back, boom, he's going to be right there. He's going to be getting hit with both uppercuts. With the lead coming in, right? It's going to happen, especially when he's coming in at mid-range. But Ruiz, he has no choice. He has to get on the inside. It has to be baptism by fire. He has to get on the inside. He's going to have to be dealing with that jab on the outside, exerting all that energy, trying to slip through those jabs, and he'll be successful sometimes. Sometimes he won't. His head will be getting snapped back. And, I mean, AJ's going to look like he has the best jab of all time after this fight's done, okay? Ruiz going to have to slip in. When he does, he's going to be eating uppercuts, right? I honestly believe he's going to go down to an uppercut. Mark it down. Write it down. I always tell you guys, write it down. You've been, holy shit, look at it just happened. I wrote it down. I was listening to DStyle on Wednesday, and he said it. And look, he's going to fall on all fours. Watch. It's going to happen. Right? It's going to happen. Because of the way he's going to come in, slip in that jab, he's going to get hit with an uppercut. He's going to fall on all fours. Watch for it. Right? Not on his back, all fours. He might roll on his back after he falls on all fours. Right? But he'll get up and he'll probably be stopped or he'll survive the round, but it's going to happen. Right? That's if the hook doesn't get him first. But I'm betting on the uppercut because I just think the punch is more likely, given what Ruiz has to do to get past that jab. It's going to be open for an uppercut at that mid-range once he tries to slip through the jab from the distance. So think about it. It's like Ruiz is dealing with a long range sniper from start. Like you're dealing with a sniper from a distance. The sniper's like, choo, 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 right? And you're slipping, and you're dodging. He doesn't have the best head movement anyway, right? He can't fight AJ from the outside, guys. He's going to have to exert a lot of energy trying to slip through those jabs. He's going to get hit by them, by the way. So first he's dealing with a long-range sniper. And then he's got to deal with those uppercuts, right? What's a good mid-range weapon? I don't know, sword, I guess, right? You just got to deal with that sword, all right? Like when he comes in, AJ's going to catch him with uppercuts coming in, and he's going to be in a vulnerable position. He's either going to have to eat them and come in or smother them and come in, but it's going to exert a lot of energy doing it. AJ could still step back and land hooks and some uppercuts off his back foot as well, not to mention that Ruiz has to go through all that. But that's because he has to get on the inside and then land those body shots from the inside. That's what he's got to do. He's got to come in like earmuff style, okay, like a fucking bull, right? Ruiz has to, okay, those elbows, they got to be close to each other, right? So while you're watching this fight, if you notice Ruiz with the gloves up, hands up, it's one thing to have your hands up, right? And he's trying to slip through and trying to get past that long range sniper jab of AJ, okay, compared to his. As he's trying to get in, he's stuck in low. He's got to be careful with that uppercut. Well, what's the best way to be careful with an uppercut? Got to keep those elbows. He's got to keep them close. If you notice him coming in, all right, and his elbows are facing away from each other, right, rather than parallel to each other, if not even closer to that, he's going to be getting hit by uppercuts all night. It's going to be an early night. He'll probably come in with those elbows tucked in, but then as he's getting tired, exerting energy, he's going to open up. It's a pain in the ass to be doing that, plus holding your hands up and your elbows in place, okay, having that nice, clean guard, especially coming in. He has to constantly be doing that. And then come in and boom, boom. He's got to land some good, hard body shots in that longer torso of Anthony Joshua, because that's the only spot where Ruiz can put up a fight on the inside. On the inside. Duck low, boom, come up with some hooks or something. Povetkin was very successful at that. The Ruiz camp has to look at, and I don't even think Ruiz isn't as good as Povetkin, in my opinion, right? But they got to look at that tape and see how Povetkin will landing his hooks, right? he's got to slide in. He's got to get past that jab, get past the snipers, then get past the swords. Okay, the samurai swords on the inside. And then once he's inside, keep in mind Joshua could land something inside too. And if he has his head on the chest of Joshua, Joshua could step back, bam, uppercuts. Right? He can, and so it's still dangerous on the inside, regardless. But it's the only spot that Ruiz can do some work. If Ruiz can slip through the jab like butter and smother the uppercut and then bam, 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 hit that body and and then boom, go upstairs and then if he can do that, like just slip through like Mike Tyson style, and like I would be in shock, but it's not gonna happen. Right? And he has to be consistent with that. We'll see, guys. All right. I just think he's gonna go down all fours with an uppercut. All right. You remember me. You remember DStyle saying that. I see this fight going about 5 rounds. I think AJ stops Ruiz in 5, maybe 6. I think it stops him. Wears him down. From mid-range, I don't see AJ really going to the body at mid-range because he can leave himself open upstairs to Ruiz. But on the inside, they'll both probably exchange some body shots. I think AJ's uppercut's going to be killer in this fight. His jab is going to be tremendous in this fight. This is an uphill battle for Ruiz. Do not bet on Ruiz. All right. Oh, but DStyle, the spread, DStyle, I don't give a shit. The spread, not the spread, the odds. But the odds, DStyle, nope. AJ has Joshua in the 7th. What's up, AJ 10? Boxing Conversation says AJ has issues with shorter fighters. AJ's 5'10", sparring partner Joey has been kicking his ass. Bro, listen to DStyle. I'm telling you, Joshua's going to dominate this fight. Ruiz might come in and maybe win the first round. After that, he might give some competitive rounds, but it's an uphill battle, man. All right? It's an uphill battle. I'm just being honest. That's what I'll say. All right? Natural, you need to fight tall and make this boring fight like the kill. Let the kill come natural. Well, Ruiz is going to come. He has to come in. And the uppercut's it's going to be there. It's going to be open. I told you how Ruiz can nullify, but it's easier said than done. Not to mention that AJ can throw uppercuts with both his hands, guys. Right? Both of them. His right and left. The right and the left uppercut, right, are thrown differently. Right? And you can find different ranges with them. And Ruiz is going to, from the mid-range all the way up until he's in his chest, all the way, like AJ can step back and throw an uppercut. He could catch him coming in. He can catch him from mid-range right after he gets past a jab. If Ruiz is slipping jabs, he could turn that into a hook. I mean, there's so many options he has. And AJ does have that repertoire. Okay, look, I'm as annoyed with AJ as anybody else, and I don't like Eddie Hearn, but I'm not going to take away the guy's skills. I mean, the dude has skills, and he's going to display them in this fight. Okay, AJ in 5, right? Coming on 24, what up, DStyle, he says. And International, he ain't losing no decision. No, it ain't going to go to decision. I doubt it. Hulk Hogan says it's not easy losing weight, DStyle. You got to applaud Ruiz for that, I guess. Now let's talk about another fight. The potential fight of Fury versus Whyte. I'm going to keep this 100% honest, right? I honestly think Fury embarrasses Whyte, right? I do. I think he embarrasses him. I think it looks a lot like the Chisora fight the second time. Maybe a little more competitive, but I just, it goes decision, right? But I think he embarrasses him. I think Whyte's face looks all puffed up at the end, right? Fury's going to utilize his height. He's a really big man, okay? And he's going to slip through a lot of the punches of Whyte, who's punching up. And I have a hard time seeing Whyte winning a round in that fight. Like, I'm just being honest. Okay, not saying he won't win a round or two, but I just have a hard time seeing it. I think Fury toys with him. I think Fury places his glove on the top of Whyte's head and then makes Whyte do swings and misses. I think he plays with him. If anything, the only shot Whyte has is that Fury plays a little too much, right? Like a cat playing with his food a little too much and he gets clipped, which could happen, right? But aside from that, that's an easy win for Fury. Easy win, all right? Easy decision win. There might be some competitive rounds here and there. I just think Fury, I could see Fury like getting himself against the corner and telling Whyte to come on, and Whyte throws a Fury, and it might make, like, pun intended, and it might make it exciting or something, but nothing's really going to land, you know. Fury's going to be putting his hands behind his back, and it's just he's going to be mocking the dude. And again, maybe he plays a little too much or something, which I just think that is a potential issue he might have. But on the other side, it does fuck with dudes' heads. You know, it's not fun to be embarrassed that way, I would imagine. For the thousands of people in attendance and millions of people watching around the world, right? Nobody wants to be embarrassed that way, right? I don't think he knocks out Whyte, right? I think he wins a decision. I think he easily wins 8 out of those 12 rounds. But I'll venture to say like 10 or 11 of those rounds, Fury wins. Okay? Just like that. And outside of Fury playing a little too much, I don't see how Whyte has any shot. All right? Like at all. I think Fury has his hands down at times. And I think it'll be a fun fight. I like watching Fury fight. But he's going to be playing with Whyte. All right? There's levels to this, and Fury's just at another level to Whyte. Right? No offense to Whyte. And I know a lot of dudes have been pushing Whyte, like, oh, Dillian, Whyte. Oh, Wild is scared of Whyte. Like, oh, okay. All right. I guess. Okay. Like you know, whatever. Nobody's buying that. Honestly. Okay. I think Fury easily, with 2 or 3 competitive rounds aside, beats Dillian Whyte. That's what I think. By the way, if you're listening live right now, take a moment and throw a jab at that like button. Don't throw one too. You'll unlike. It's just a jab. Now throw one too at that share button, and take a moment right now. Hit that notification button. It's a bell button, so you can be notified when DStyle comes on live. All right? You go ahead and do that. Now, let's talk some, you know, I know some more comments here to read, but let's see here. Fury would win an easy UD, says AJ. AJ10. Maybe Fury keeps his hands down and gets clipped once, but it won't be enough to impact the fight. I could see that. Maybe. The Gypsy King by UD, says Hulk Hogan. Neutral Natural says Fury makes Dillian Whyte quit. Whyte getting KO by Rivas. All right. Lillian Dyke with the ostrich footwork. Boxing conversation with Reggie Owen says that he's got Ruiz by a decision. Mentally, I think AJ is dealing with a lot, and it will impact this fight, this fact, or fight, either or. AJ is the better fighter, but the pressure is pressing him. I just don't see, you know. If Ruiz wins, I'm sure I'll have to eat some crow because I said AJ easily wins and all that, but let me tell you something. I'll be okay. This the UK channels we got to watch for. Those dudes will. We need some suicide watch for those dudes, right? Just saying. By the way, I will be live covering those fights live, guys. I'm going to be talking about those fights. Hoping to have a guest on. Don't want to say anything yet, but it's another channel, and we'll be calling this fight and the fights and all that. If the zone fucks up, we'll talk shit about the zone, whatever the case is. But you guys can join us. Make sure you hit that notification button so you're notified when stuff comes on live. Because you know the way I call the fight. You love the way I call the fights, all right? Like, you'll know what's going on. And you'll know I'm calling like it is. All right? Just like that. Like, you'll know that. You will know that. Believe that. Who else has Ruiz winning this fight? I think y'all are crazy. Sorry. Like I was Reggie Owens believes Andy Ruiz will win. I remember people ask me, like, DStyle. Like, what do you think of Andy Ruiz? I think people are like, man, DStyle's Mexican, so he has to have an opinion on Andy Ruiz. Like, Andy Ruiz is a solid fighter, but, there's some guys that just aren't destined to be world champion, man. It's just the way it is. Like, life's unfair. Like, I'm sorry, Andy Ruiz. You're just another one of the bunch. I remember growing up, that's something my grandfather always told me when we would watch boxing, right? And he simplified it. And he would tell me in Spanish, but he would tell me, están los chingones y luego los demás. That there's the fucking badasses and everybody else. Okay? There is the champions, the top dogs, the dangerous fighters, the top of the line breed. You know what I mean? And then there's the rest of the bunch. Ruiz is one of the best of the bunch, but he's just another one of the bunch. I mean, that's just the way it is, folks. Like let's just call it like it. And everybody deep down, you know it. Now, once in a while, a dude from the bunch pulls off the upset, right? Once in a while. But if I don't think a guy stands a 10% chance of winning, anything less than that, I don't even entertain it. So I think I told you enough there. I don't even give him a 10% shot. Everyone has some percent shot of winning. I don't put Ruiz in double digits % shot of winning. What percentage, in the chat, right? What percentage do you give? Let's go fight by fight. What percentage do you give Luis Ortiz to beat Deontay Wilder? I give him a solid 20%. 20% can happen. When I say, hey, there's a 20% chance of rain, sometimes it rains, right? That is a somewhat of a danger zone. So I give, what percentage do you give Luis Ortiz to beat Deontay Wilder? What percentage do you give, guys? Let's take one fight at a time. AD at 10, 20%. Mondragon, 40%. Box Conversations, 20%. He agrees with me. Low on profits, 45%. I think we're going to have people say anywhere from 20. If you ask the coach, he'll say 60%. Like that dude is swears that Ortiz is going to win, but he can win. So he like Ortiz might win, and we're all going to be, oh, sorry, coach, I guess you were right. But at the end of the day, I see 45% for low profits. Boxing Dialogue, 0.01%. Come on, Boxing Dialogue. You got to give him more than that. Right? A little more than that. Come on. All right? Okay, so that's that. We're going to go to the next one. Don't jump fights now. All right? Wilder. No, wait. You just said Wilder. You stand no shot against Wilder. No, I'm talking about Luis Ortiz. If I said Ruiz, I apologize, but I meant Ortiz. Ortiz Wilder. No percentage in hell. Luis Ortiz, the Cuban fighter. I give him a 20% shot. Okay? I think I did say Ortiz, by the way. But anyway, AJ versus Ruiz, the upcoming fight. Me, negative 10%, like, or below 10%, maybe like 6 or 7%, somewhere around there. I give, like, you know what I mean? But I don't even entertain it. It's just 10%, right? What percentage do you guys give Andy Ruiz to beat Anthony Joshua? What percentage? We'll get to that, Joe Lopez 40 ounce. To me, obviously, it's Ortiz. But what percentage do you guys give AJ of losing to Andy Ruiz? I see 30% by Boxing Dialogue. I see 20% Hulk Hogan. AJ 10, 2%. Somebody, man, Low Profits gave him a 45% chance. 10% Joe Lopez 40 ounce. 45% is high. I mean, that's practically a coin flip, guys. All right, practically. I don't see it, guys. Less than 10% shot. That's just me. Okay, maybe you guys see some. I don't. It's just perfectly fine. Haven't always been right, but I got a good batting average. I'll tell you that right now. I get struck out once in a while, but I got a good batting average. I hit a little bit of a fly ball once in a while. That looks like it's going to be a home run, but then it just kind of slowly comes down. Catching in the outfield, catch. But I got a good batting average, right? That's what I'll say. Now, I don't know if low profits being serious, but either way, Stunner says 5%. All right. Tyson Fury versus Dillian Whyte. What percentage do you give Whyte to beat Tyson Fury? What percent shot? What do you say? What do you got? I give Whyte less than 10%. I'm being honest. You know what? I might give him the 10%. I might give Whyte the 10%, maybe. Just because, and the reason I'll give him that is because, Fury might play a little too much with his food and stuff like that. So I'll give him 10%. Fine. What do you guys give him? 35%, 5% by AJ, 35% by Stunner. What are the percentages of it? What percentage do we give Whyte to beat Fury? I got 9.5%. Lower profits, Whyte 15%. Pretty close to me. I'm just saying. More people gave Ortiz a greater chance to beat Wilder, guys. All right. It's just a small sample, but I could almost guarantee you if you were to do this with thousands of people, most people would say, yeah, Luis Ortiz is a better shot. You're going to have outliers here and there, but I think it's fair to say you're going to come out with more people thinking that's the way it's going to go. Okay. The footwork, I take it back. Whyte, 4%. Well, what do you think of the fourth best heavyweight right now? Probably Luis Ortiz. Luis Ortiz might very well be the 4th best heavyweight in the world right now. We'll take it for what it's worth. Now, we still don't know what's going to happen. Ortiz might pop dirty again, or, like he might get injured, or maybe the fight doesn't even happen. All right. This goes for all these fights. Although I think it's fair to say that Ruiz, Josh was going to go through. All right. I think that's fair to say. And nobody bring up Baby Miller. He doesn't deserve to be talked about right now in terms of anything. So I don't want to hear that. All right. I do not want to hear anything about an old Baby Miller, and I just don't want to hear it. For those that came in late, you can catch my video, the rest of it on archive. Go back, listen to an archive. All right. This was fun. Okay, we'll be wrapping this up pretty soon, guys. If you got any questions, shoot them at me right now. Hulk Hogan says Eddie Guerrero upset Brock Lesnar, so Ruiz can't do it DStyle. But Goldberg came in and speared Lesnar. So unless Wilder comes in and hits AJ with the right hand when the ref isn't looking, okay, I don't see how Ruiz is going to win this fight. Okay. Yeah, Frog Splash, you got it. Bouncy conversations with Reggie Owens. Salute to you too. I'll take one more question. Who's got one more question? A serious question. Come on. All right. Who's got another question? I might take 2. We'll see. And then we'll be wrapping this up. By the way, make sure you hit that bell button. That way you're notified when DStyle comes on live, folks. Right? We might reserve Wednesdays for heavyweight boxing talk, but we'll see. All right? We'll see. I don't want to restrict myself either, because sometimes there's this breaking news stuff. So that is that. What's the meaning of life, says Probin? I mean, you went a little too serious. Boxing, The meaning of life is you do you and we do we, and everybody, just do your own thing and be happy, I guess. I don't know. That's not a very good philosophical answer, but there you go. Ruiz can do the people's elbow. We'll see, man. What is the worst DStyle prediction of the DStyle YouTube era? My worst prediction ever? Wow. I'm thinking. I thought that man, what was his name again? I thought Shad Dawson was going to beat Pascal. Right? I thought he was, and I was wrong. I thought most recently, I thought that now granted, I thought Sergio Martinez was going to beat Cotto, right? But I didn't think the knee was that bad. But I honestly believe if Sergio Martinez had a good knee, he would beat Cotto. I honestly believe that, right? But can't make excuses. And finally, I thought Matisse would beat Danny Garcia. Right? The fight was a lot closer than people act, but still, I was wrong. But those are 3 out of all the time I've been on YouTube. It ain't that bad, right? And I thought Jorge Linares was going to be one of the top fighters in the sport. I mean, he still turned out. I mean, he's still a multiple-time champion, and we all know he's a good fighter. But of course, when someone's a prospect, you don't know their punch resistance, their chin, how easy they can get cut, how the stamina looks after 10 rounds when you only see them like 6 rounds. But yeah, I thought Jorge Linares was going to be something else. Skill-wise, he's up there, but just didn't have best punch resistance in the world. And what are you going to do? He did. He had a lot of potential. I remember you said Pac-Man beat Floyd in slow motion. I'd say that. I don't know who the hell said that. That was PP over there. PP said that shit. Right? For those that came in late, don't remember, go back, watch it back on archive from the beginning. For those that came in mid-video or something towards the end. And that's that, guys. I'm going to go ahead and roll out of here. Peace.